Hello everyone! Ripple's Prime is making some serious waves right now, and honestly, the moves happening in this industry are wild. Ripple's Prime entry into the US marks a seismic shift for digital assets. This is institutional crypto crossing the Rubicon, putting XRP and RLUSD at the center of Wall Street trade flows and risk management. For the first time, banks and funds can access true prime brokerage for digital assets, unlocking deep liquidity, cross-asset margining, and professional-grade settlement, powered by Ripple's infrastructure. This launch transforms XRP from a speculative token into a core instrument for institutional finance, enabling it to serve as cross-bridge liquidity, collateral, and the backbone of sophisticated over-the-counter derivatives and financing strategies. I need to unpack what's going on here because this affects Ripple in a major way. And if you're sitting on XRP, you definitely want to pay attention to where this is headed. Let's check this out. Ripple, a financial technology company that offers crypto solutions for businesses, today announced the launch of its digital assets spot prime brokerage capabilities for the United States markets. US-based institutional clients are now able to execute OTC spot transactions across dozens of most prominent digital assets, including XRP and RLUSD. Following the acquisition of multi-asset prime brokerage Hidden Road, Ripple has combined its licenses with Hidden Road solutions under Ripple Prime, providing new capabilities where institutions can seamlessly access foreign exchange digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed incomes. Okay, so keep this number in your head. Ripple touches about 90% of the FX market. That's around $7.5 trillion flowing through every day in clearing operations. Insane scale. What we're seeing here is Ripple building a bridge for financial institutions to actually deploy XRP or RLUSD inside those gigantic trading ecosystems. They're not asking for permission anymore. They're creating the infrastructure themselves. The launch of OTC spot execution capabilities completes our existing suites of OTC and cleared derivative services in digital assets and positions us to provide U.S. institutions with a comprehensive offering to suit their trading strategies and needs, says Michael Higgins, International CEO, Ripple Prime. With the launch, Ripple Prime's U.S.-based clients can cross-margin OTC spot transactions and holdings with the rest of their digital asset portfolio, including over-the-counter swaps and Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures and options. So Paul Barron weighs in on this and basically says, look, Ripple's launching U.S.-based prime brokerage services is huge for crypto. Here's why it matters. Institutional-grade infrastructure in a regulated market builds more connections. More legitimacy equals more capital inflows. Direct competition with Coinbase Prime, Anchorage, and the maturation of crypto infrastructure continues. But here's where it gets really interesting. Ripple Bullwinkle drops this absolute bomb of a thread that explains what's actually going on behind the scenes. He breaks it down like this. Thread. Ripple just went full Wall Street, Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime. Here's what just happened. Ripple quietly completed the acquisition of Hidden Road, a multi-asset prime brokerage handling FX, swaps, and derivatives for institutions. That firm is now officially Ripple Prime. Ripple Prime now offers digital assets spot prime brokerage, meaning U.S. institutions can trade OTC across dozens of major cryptos, including XRP and RLUSD. Think crypto meets Wall Street. Ripple now controls payments with custody, Ripple custody, stablecoin issuance, RLUSD, prime brokerage. The real question on everyone's mind, though, what are they going to rebrand G Treasury as? Because that acquisition just happened and we're all waiting to find out. What we're witnessing here goes way beyond some tech company dabbling in blockchain. That's not just a crypto company anymore. It's an institutional empire. The kicker, Ripple Prime clients can cross-margin OTC swaps and even CME futures. And get this, XRP futures shot up way quicker than what we saw with Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. Pretty crazy stuff. This isn't just bullish for Ripple. It's infrastructure-level integration between crypto and traditional finance. The rails are being rebuilt, and XRP is the settlement layer sitting beneath it all. The global playbook is clear. FX plus derivatives plus stablecoins plus on-demand liquidity equals complete institutional suite. Ripple is now a full-service digital asset bank, minus the bank label, which should be coming soon. This isn't speculation anymore. It's about flows, liquidity, and access. That breakdown really captures what's happening on the ground. Now, let's shift gears, because something huge just dropped out of Africa. ABSA, a financial powerhouse in South Africa, is bringing Ripple custody into the mix. Here's the scoop. ABSA Bank, one of Africa's biggest financial institutions, has partnered with Ripple to launch digital asset custody platform for institutional clients, marking Ripple's one of the first major custody deal in Africa. The partnership brings secure and compliant storage of cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and other tokenized assets to South Africa, with plans to expand custody services to other African markets over time. So let me break down what's actually happening here. Ripple Custody Technology ABSA integrates Ripple's institutional-grade custody solution developed after Ripple's acquisition of Medico, offering regulated, secure digital asset storage to clients. The technology runs through its own infrastructure, allowing the bank to both own software and operational security. Now here's where it gets interesting. Ripple Custody and Medico, they're running as completely separate entities. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. When the acquisition went down, I figured Medico would just disappear into Ripple Custody, right? Like, boom, done deal, one brand. But that's not what went down at all. Both names stayed alive. Medico's doing its thing under the Medico banner, Ripple Custody's doing its thing under its own name. And honestly, genius strategy. Because now you've got two doors for clients to walk through, both backed by identical technology. Different branding, different approaches, same powerful infrastructure underneath. It's like they doubled their reach overnight without building anything new. African Expansion ABSA is Ripple's first major custody bank partner in Africa and will be rolled out the service regionally, targeting places like Nigeria, Kenya, and Mauritius, increasing Ripple's footprint in fast-growing African fintech market. Stablecoin and XRP integration is important. ABSA is exploring stablecoin issuance and looking closely at Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin and Circle's USDC for their adoption of potential across Africa. So why did ABSA go with Ripple? After testing everyone out thoroughly, they noticed something fascinating. Ripple didn't just talk about Africa. They put their money where their mouth is by building a real team on the ground there. Look, plenty of banks love saying Africa's on their radar, but when you dig deeper, 0 offices, 0 local employees, just empty words from headquarters somewhere far away. Ripple flipped the script completely. They physically went to Africa, hired talented people from the region, and set up shop properly. Why does this matter? Because now they can actually meet partners in person, shake hands, build genuine trust, and understand what's really happening on the ground. That face-to-face element changes everything. This strategy isn't just an Africa thing either. Check out how many Ripple offices exist worldwide. They're basically saying, we're not doing business remotely, we're showing up. Regulatory context. The partnership rides on recent progress in South Africa and Pan-African crypto regulations with the country, designating crypto as a financial product and launching stablecoin pilots. Ripple's platform helps ABSA meet strict operational regulatory requirements for digital assets. But here's where it gets juicy. You know every major bank in that region just sat up straighter when they heard about this ABSA Ripple deal, right? They're scrambling right now, calling emergency board meetings, asking themselves how fast they can jump on this train before it leaves the station. ABSA just fired the starting pistol. What we're witnessing isn't some isolated partnership. This is patient zero for what's about to become an epidemic of announcements. I'm talking weeks, maybe days before we see the next bank, then another, then 3 more all at once. Now let's talk about the nuts and bolts. Custody services, how stablecoin brokerage actually functions, and the payment rails tying it together. Jazzy Cooper from Ripple X nails the explanation better than I ever could. Listen to this on what she's saying here.
It's nice with the Ripple organization. We have a number of different touch points with institutions. So take custody, for example. They'll sit down with large banks that are interested in tokenization. They know a lot about it, but they haven't done it firsthand and are really looking for a guiding hand to walk them through their tokenization journey. And that's something that our custody team has been able to really lead the charge with and help some of the bigger legacy financial institutions take their initial steps there. And that's when other products can be brought into the mix, ranging from RLUSD to the payments product, as well as XRP Ledger, of course. So that definitely helps. And then we have, more crypto forward organizations, some of the money market funds like Aberdeen, for example. They're an asset manager out of the UK, and they have a lot of really smart, forward-thinking ideas around how they can leverage the decentralized exchange with on-chain trading, and how they can really move beyond just bringing the asset on-chain to unlocking utility, with a mind for compliance and regulation and keeping things above bar. So definitely excited about the wide range of institutional use cases.
Okay, so Ripple's team, absolutely stacked with some of the smartest minds out there. And you can totally see it paying off as everything keeps growing. Now, Reese Merrick runs things for the Middle East and Africa, and he just shared a fascinating read on the strategic leap into digital asset custody and what it signals for Pan-African finance. We're proud to be ABSA's trusted partner on this journey, supporting them with our bank-grade custody solutions, and sets a critical Pan-African benchmark for security and trust. All right, so I actually covered this article already. Remember when we talked through all the important stuff? Yeah, that one. But wait, there's more exciting news here. RLUSD just smashed through the $1 billion market cap. I mean, come on, that's absolutely enormous for Ripple. And check this out. With Ripple Prime and G Treasury and Rail now joining the effort, RLUSD and XRP will drive faster, efficient, and more compliant settlement worldwide. This is how we advance the future of finance. Vet just put out some numbers that caught my attention. RLUSD has climbed all the way up to the 11th spot for stablecoin market cap globally. Yeah, you heard that right. They actually pushed past global dollar to snag that position. Obviously, there's still some heavy hitters sitting above them. BlackRock's chilling up there, PayPal's got their spot locked in, and then there's World Liberty, who basically got handed $2 billion by CZ and Binance. Like, seriously, can you even wrap your head around that kind of money? Then DAI and a few other major tokens are holding down the fort at the very top. Oh, and heads up, Ripple Swell is literally about to start rolling. Do yourself a favor and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn those notifications on because I'm going to be feeding you all the juicy updates the second they happen. No delays, just straight fire content coming your way. Big thanks for being here with me today. Hope you crush whatever you've got going on. Appreciate you riding through this whole thing with me. I'll see your face in the next one.